But
you scared?
You just looking at me weird, creeper.
What's happening, everybody?
Hello.
What? It's Sunday. Hold on a second here. Sunday live haul. Man, have we got an enormous haul for you today?
Not so much. And by enormous, we mean maybe 10 items a piece. But you know,
I've got some cool stuff.
Me too.
We went out yesterday. So Saturday is the day that we usually try to take off. We decided to get up early, and I hope you are full of regret for making me get up early. We went to like a bunch of garage sales.
We went to like 10 garage sales and 3 thrift stores and spent 5 hours and walked away with about 4 items a piece.
No, I got 2, one of which was for me. So
I got about 4 things and nothing worth showing.
Yeah.
So
please cue Casey yelling at you about finding other ways to source. He always gives you a hard time if you tell him that.
So I love thrift stores and I love garage sales. I just think garage sale season in Vegas is most of the year, to be fair. But the best season is the earlier part of the spring, and we were all on COVID restriction, right? So I think that right now, even though there are garage sales every weekend, they start really early and they end really early because it's super freaking hot. So nobody wants to be standing outside their house when it's 110 degrees. So it just doesn't happen. So they've been really crappy. I don't know if everybody stayed home and figured out how to sell their own shit online.
Yeah,
so now they're not having it at garage sales, but yeah, it was not good. So it looks like we're going to have to make a sourcing trip. At least I'm going to have to make another sourcing trip out of state sooner than we thought, because I'm already out of my Arizona stuff.
Yeah.
It'll all be listed by the end of this week.
It's tough because I have an easier time sourcing because I have a few sources, not just Yesterday's Fits, but a couple of other resellers that I buy from regularly. And so I have an easier time getting the stuff. Of course, I have to pay up for it. And so
I don't have a one-stop shop.
But the other part of that, on the other side of it, because there's always pros and cons to however you work your model, there's pros and cons to it. And so on the other side of that is that, Vikki has expanded and she has somebody really awesome now, Crystal, who is taking pictures and doing drafts for her. And so, it makes more sense for her model that maybe she needs to go out of town once a month or every few weeks and do like a massive buy somewhere else, because she's got somebody back at home who, can do 80 items in the week and drafts and pictures. Whereas it's a little bit harder for me because I'm the only one working my business. And so it's harder for me to take multiple days off each month to go out of town when I don't necessarily need to, because then I'm not taking pictures. She's rolling her eyes at me. Oh, you're the only one that's got problems. Nobody the only one.
Nobody cares.
Anyway.
So yes, our thrift stores are open. They have not been so successful as far as the trips that we've been on so far. I've been in about 4 or 5. Meh. I mean, I really have to start super sourcing again this week. So I'm going to end up having to hit every one and go to garage sales. So I just need some stuff.
True.
But it's not as good as it was pre-shutdown. I think that they're still processing a lot of the donations. They're still putting stuff out. We've been open here for a couple of weeks as far as the thrift stores go. I think that the 19th was when the Savers ones officially opened. So it's been a couple of weeks, either that or everybody has just went in that first 2 weeks when it was mob scene and bought everything under the sun, because it's mediocre at best.
Who knows? Well, and it's tougher and tougher for people like me doing the thrifted streetwear stuff like that. It's so popular right now that all of the regular thrift stores, it's very difficult to come across something crazy awesome. Which is fine because I can just buy from somebody else. But man, but then if you follow Derek Wagers when he puts up pictures and stuff like that, he drives, he'll drive hundreds of miles a day, but he's in Kentucky and he finds the coolest stuff at thrift stores, but he's putting in a lot of time.
Well, that's what I need to do anyway. So yeah, Britton lives here in town and he said the same thing. It's a bunch of junk. I mean, really, it hasn't been pickings have been very slim lately.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a fantastic week 3 weeks ago in Arizona. We found some fantastic 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago.
I don't know. I don't even remember anymore.
I think it was only 2 weeks ago. We found some fantastic stuff in Arizona, and you know, I would love to be able to do that once a month and load up the truck, and then I'm good for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, it just isn't necessarily. It's just not an option every month. But
yeah.
Anyway,
we'll see. We got to adjust. That's just the way it is. You have to adjust to, you know, whether it's external changes or internal changes, whether it's changing slightly. I mean, you've changed your model in a way that now, before sourcing sometimes was challenging, but now it's like even more challenging because you really should be getting twice as much stuff as you were getting before.
Yeah, like my plan was in hiring Crystal was to source 75 to 100 unique clothing items each week, and she would be doing the listing and photographing on those items, and then I just cross post and make them live and all that kind of stuff. And I would be sourcing at least 50 to 75 items that are hard goods every week that I'd be doing on my own. In essence, trying to double my business. That's my plan. And then we started to get that rolling real fast, and then COVID shut the hell everything down. So I had to source other ways. So we'll see. Yeah. We're getting there.
It's all a challenge, guys. It's all a challenge. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Looks like we already have about 100 people here. If this is your first time here, I am Katy. This is Vikki, aka Victoria, aka Sassy McSasserson, aka Roller of the Eyes.
That's true.
Aka my fiance. And we're here with, this is probably like our favorite show that we do every week, the Sunday Live Haul. We break it up into 3 parts. First part, we go over our real numbers, or as real as we can get, and kind of break down what we actually sold last week, our gross numbers, some of our costs. We don't really go into like our overhead costs and stuff like that, but some of the basic costs to kind of give you an idea of what.
Well, so you can compare apples and apples. Everybody knows what the hard costs are for selling online. We're trying to tell you what we paid for the items and what they sold for.
Yeah. And then the middle part of our show, we show you some of our sales highlights for the week. Usually it's, the stuff that we think is the most interesting. Of course, you can always go. We have links below to our stores. You can always go to our stores and see what we actually sold in the last week and see some of the very sad sales.
We don't hide our stores, so you can see the mediocre sales as well as the good sales.
But for the most part, we're not really showing you mediocre sales, or at least ones that we think are mediocre, because we want to show the fun stuff. Anyway, and then the last part of our show is when we get into our haul. And like I said, this week, we don't have a ton. I just have the stuff that I took, the highlights of the stuff that I took photographs of this week. I still have, you can't see it, it's off screen, but I still have a giant stack of jackets that I got from Jesse's mom almost 2 weeks ago now, but I haven't taken pictures of those. Those are mostly going to be next week. So I didn't pull anything from those. I'll do that. I generally take my pictures and then I pull from the ones I take pictures of for my haul. So I do have some really cool stuff over here. I'm just not going to show you because I'm a bastard. Okay.
Maybe you show them next week. I still have some cool stuff that Crystal has that she is listing this particular week that I don't have back yet that I can show next week. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna.
Oh, so I see Liz. I see who's keeping track? You counting now? She's gonna try to hurry us, you guys. I just want you to know, full disclosure, full effing disclosure, everybody. This one over here wants to get in her pool today. She's got her little floaty inflatable pool outside, and it's kind of dirty right now, and I'm going to go help her clean it. So she's going to try to rush us through this, okay? Because all she can think about is how we're going to clean her pool, because I am her designated pool boy here at the house. Somehow that became my job, and we're going to clean it up so that she can go out and get her float on later.
It was really windy these last 2 days, so it's like full of dirt and stuff. So we got to drain it and clean it and scrub it. And
pretty much. So just know that when she proceeds to try to tell me how to live my life on the show, it's probably because she wants to get out to that pool.
Yes, that's the only reason why. Liz says she's about ready for a Phoenix trip. Liz, you should have come 2 weeks ago. You were invited.
She wasn't ready. She'll be ready for the next one. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our numbers. I can tell you that this last week, especially my eBay sales, actually my Grailed sales pretty much dried up. I had a few, but it wasn't anything too exciting. What are you doing?
I don't know. You're like
It's
mid-screen.
fine. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Everything's okay. I'll X that out and we're gonna be fine. You stay out of the tech stuff. Okay? Stick to your eye rolling. Anyway, eBay dropped dramatically at it's like 50% of what my sales were last week. So it got real quiet. I mean, we are going to the summer. Things are a little bit crazy in the world and in the country. People are distracted, thinking about things that are maybe a little more important to them in their lives and their families than buying stuff on the eBay.
I don't know. I think the eBay is pretty important.
Well, it's important for us to feed ourselves, but whatever, we got to get over it. So, but I think there's a lot of things that are going into why sales have dropped down, but whatever. So let's get into it. I will say it wasn't even a close race this week as far as who sold more, or who made more money. Let's just be clear at front. Okay. So yeah.
Wow, you had a weak week.
You're so rude.
Sorry.
Why don't you go? How about I'll do the show? You go get in your stinking pool. Go clean it yourself. Okay? Do you see this? Like, I give her credit for beating me this week, and then she just insults me right out the gate.
I just saw your screen and
just
oh, geez.
Insults me. Okay? And then there's people out there who are going to look at my numbers and they're going to say those are really good numbers. And then how do you think you're making them feel? So just know you're a jerk. You are an a-hole. Okay? That's just the truth. That's just the truth. All right, guys. I had 20 outgoing orders on eBay, 13 between Etsy and Grailed. Only 3 of those were Grailed, and they were kind of okay. And then 33 total outgoing orders. My eBay gross sales just barely made it over $1,087. Last week I was just about at $2,000. Etsy and Grailed combined $1,065.69. So my total gross sales did go over 2,000, 2,152 and 69 cents. That's for Allison. So my shipping costs there about $165. My promoted listing fees between eBay and Etsy $80.71. And then you can see the final value fees broken down there. My cost of goods lower than last week because I sold less stuff. And not as many things that I paid a lot on. So $310 for my cost of goods. So my total net sales after all my costs, $1,371.45. So not bad. I mean, it was not a great week for me based on how I normally do, but still pretty good. Gross average sale price, $65.23. So that is great. I like to keep it above 60. My net average sale price after all those costs, $41.56. Now, while this one next to me is over here flapping her gums, throwing out the insults left and right, acting like she's so
really
GD superior, why don't we just, you'll see her big numbers, you'll see how special she is, but just pay attention to the average sale price because it's embarrassing, okay? It's a little bit embarrassing, and I want you guys all to know that, come on, really? Could have been better. Could have been better.
It
Go
could
ahead.
have been.
Go
could
ahead.
have been for sure.
Go ahead.
So 43 eBay orders. I had 17 between Posh, Macari, and Etsy for a total of 60 orders for the week. That's pretty average, between 50 and 60. So $22.93 on eBay, $6.39 between Etsy and Posh and Macari for a total of $29.32. I always consider anything over $2,500 is a good week for me. So just under 3,000, I'm happy with. Shipping was $348. I will say that $90 of that was one item that went to Puerto Rico. So that was my shipping otherwise would have been okay. But that was an expensive one. So $42 and change on promoted listing fees on eBay. $295 eBay final value fees, $57 and change for Etsy, Posh, and Macari. Call it probably around $60. So my total costs were $743. Cost of goods $262. So my total net was about $1,900 and change after costs. I'm happy with that. That's a pretty good net. Now I will say my gross average sales price, embarrassing as
ouch, ouch,
embarrassing.
Ooh, that hurts. Ouch.
Under $50. I did have quite a few lower priced items. Like I've said before, I did a lot of sourcing outside of my normal wheelhouse while we were in lockdown, and they are much lower average sale price items. So I'm just trying to blow those out of here and make some money and, get my money back on them.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses right now.
No, it's a reality. So my net average sale price, $32 and change. Again, not so great, but looking at the total net, that's pretty good. $19.27.
Not too shabby.
It was a good week.
Yeah, it was pretty good for you. All right, jerk. Then we're done with those numbers.
All right, jerk.
Anyway, so real quick, someone asked a question up here.
Oh, Bridget.
Bridget asked, how do I bulk change my handling time? Please help. Thank you. Okay, so there's a couple of issues here. Depends. If you have business policies, it's just a matter of going in and changing your shipping policy. It's really quick. It's really easy. It's super fast. That's one of the main things that I really like about having business policies, but that's a whole thing to set up your business policies. Otherwise, I'm guessing you probably don't have business policies. You go to your listings page, and now you used to only be able to bulk edit 500 listings at a time. Now you can do 750, I believe. So you should be able to go to your listings page, click on the little square at the top, and then there's a thing where you can go to, there's a little drop down for action, and it should say like all selected or whatever.
Yeah. And
you just edit those, and then it's a whole process. But
you can edit your shipping.
Yeah, you
your
should be able
shipping
to.
policy that way.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I don't know if that really answered your question. I'm sure it was a really crappy answer. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say I did see it. So anyway,
Rita says that that's what we're doing, cleaning the pool for the kids. They're demanding, like me.
Yeah. So Tommy wants to know, summer slowdown, going to happen or not this year? Thoughts, anyone? Well, last year, Vikki somehow magically escaped the summer slowdown.
I did. Last year, I did not have the summer slowdown at all. I was still doing $8,000 to $9,000 a month every month through the summer on eBay. I did not hit the slowdown until we had the item-specific glitchapalooza when fall hit. So, but the previous summer, there was the missing picture glitch on eBay. Yeah. So it's like,
who knows?
I don't know what's going to happen because the last 2 years have been a little iffy.
But generally, for most people, there is somewhat of a slowdown. Of course, it depends on what you sell, but there is somewhat of a slowdown during the summertime. It's so hard to say this year because in a lot of places, people are still going to be staying home. But people might have less money, but some people are back to work, but some other people still haven't gotten their unemployment yet, and or their stimulus check yet, and then all of a sudden at some point in the middle of summer they're going to get all this money. So it's so hard to say.
It's going to be a hard predictor this season. I think it's a little bit different. I think people that tend to travel in the summer are not doing the traveling, so I think that may shore up the economy a little bit. We're going to see a little bit more purchasing action because people are not doing the traveling they normally do in the summer. So it's tough to tell. Well, your guess is as good as mine on this one. If I knew how to predict that, I'd be a much more wealthy person playing the stock market.
Yeah. But let me tell you, one thing I will suggest, and this is what I've done in times when it's slowed down, is that's the perfect time to add other platforms. And that's what I've done in the past, and it's done really well for me. That's why I added Etsy, was during Picture Palooza. And then I added Grailed this last year just because I was ready to add Grailed. But I'm already planning, because I know that like the switch over to managed payments is coming, and I'm a little concerned about that. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I'm just, it fears like anybody that things are gonna change and sales are gonna go down. So I've already kind of thought, I think this is gonna be time for me to add Mercari and Depop. And so one thing you can do, one of our sponsors lists perfectly down below, is sign up for them, add some platforms, because I guarantee you I've never added a platform and not had it add quite a bit of money to my bottom line.
Yeah, that's the reality. List Perfectly has added about $3,000 a month to my overall sales by adding other platforms. So if you are still on the fence, we have a lot of videos that we've done about List Perfectly. They also have them right on their website. They're actually a little bit more concise, explanatory videos on their website. But the link down below, we do have a code there. It's 30% off your first month if you'd like to sign up.
Yeah, seriously. I just crunched my numbers for Grailed, and February, the last 4 months is when I've had like all my stuff on Grailed. February I did about 1,000. March I did about 1,200. April I did about 1,500, and then May I just did over $1,800. So it's going up every month, and that's just from Grailed. That doesn't include, and that's like my third best, my last revenue stream as far as how much I make on it. So it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, so I have Etsy, Posh, and Mercari. And they're not, Posh and Mercari are not big money makers for me. Will that change? I don't know. Sometimes, Posh, I have a good week. Most of the time, not so much. They're about the same, couple hundred a week. But I will say that I used to spend $250 a month to have my assistant cross post just to Etsy. And now that money is being used to have somebody do listing for me. So, and that, grows my income. What I will say is I spend about an hour a day cross posting to the other to 3 other platforms.
Yeah.
eBay's still my main platform. So for 7 hours a week to add an additional $3,000 in revenue, I don't care if List Perfectly was $300 a month, I'd be paying it, because I personally, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Now, that I'm not saying they're going to raise their prices to $300, or that is what
Why
it
would
costs.
you say such a thing?
I'm just saying it has added a big amount of money to my bottom line, and it's worth it for me. And it's probably the single best thing I've ever done for my business.
Yeah. So Liz says retail stores that she's been to seem to be bare bones in inventory, and she thinks that'll also push people to online sales. Yeah, she sent us a video. She was in, I think, Burlington, and it was your mom. Your mom is the one trying to interrupt our show.
My mom was calling. Sorry.
Anyway, it was a video.
She has no idea what time it is or what we're doing or what's happening. She's never seen the show.
It was a video of her in Burlington, and it was crazy because it was just rack after rack, just completely empty. Because you think about it, all those stores like Burlington and TJ Maxx and Ross, they're all they carry a lot of the closeout stuff from retail. And so they're probably not getting everything, and then they've sold what they do have on crazy discounts.
It was all 90. It was empty. She had she showed a couple of racks of real ugly shoes left behind.
Yeah.
But everything else was wiped out completely.
Yeah, it was really crazy. All right, should we go ahead and jump into our sales highlights for the week? What do you think? What do you think? All right, we're going to start with you. What you got? What's this creepy thing looking at me? Knock it off.
So this is a doll. It's just something I picked up. It was actually one of the hard goods items that I purchased from Barry when I did one of big purchases from Barry. Now, what I wanted to say is these Baby Alive dolls, they're a dime a dozen, right? There are a couple of them that are worth more than others. And I was just going to throw this up for like $20. It was new in the package. But what I was able to figure out is that by doing a little research, and that's the only reason why I'm mentioning this, is that it happened to be one that was only distributed in Australia. It was not sold in the United States or North America in general. So it sold to someone in Australia. They paid that sale price, $48.97, plus paid about $38 for shipping to Australia, and it cost me, I think, $24 and change. So using pirate ship and using their simple export rate, I even made a little bit of money on the shipping. So it was a pretty good deal.
Nice.
I paid, I think, $5 for it, by the way.
Very cool. Yeah, sometimes Barry picks up the weirdest stuff.
I think he just buys.
He probably bought like a bunch.
He buys out the end of people's garage sales and things like that. So
yeah, for sure. All right, so this one, not a great sale, guys, but there's a reason why I wanted to show this. So this actually is from a few weeks ago when I went to Yesterday's Fits and helped them put together some reseller boxes for their big 3-year anniversary sale. And so I went through everything, and this is one of the items I was like, I looked at it, I'm like, it's just not, it's like it was stained and super worn out. And there's certain things where I feel like they could sell, but I feel like the condition is going to be an issue if somebody got a box and this was in it. And so sometimes I'll buy that stuff because I'm like, I think it's still worth picking up, but I don't want somebody to be pissed that they got it. And so this was one of those items. And so I grabbed it. And then when I got home, it was even worse than like, I realized it was like, it had like I don't know, there was like a sleeve that showed, let me see if I got it. I know I've got pictures here. Here we go. The sleeve, like, I don't know if this is like blood stain. I don't know what the hell that is, but I believe
somebody got murdered in that sweatshirt.
Maybe so. Maybe they crashed their race car in it. I don't know. Anyway, it was real rough. It's real, and it's from the 90s. Like, it wasn't anything that spectacular, but I'd already bought it. I think I paid like $5 for it. And so I listed it, and I had it listed for less than a week. It was listed for a few days, and it sold for $34.99. $35 for this like stained up, not that special sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm just showing it just because it's just another one of those examples of like things you would not think would sell for anything at all.
You never know what people are going to buy.
Yeah. People still like Jeff Gordon stuff. I guess that's the other lesson out of this. Anyway, next one for you.
So this is just one of those big, gaudy, covered in sequins and beads. It's just, if you show the second picture, Katy, you can see it a little bit better. Like, it's crazy, right? So you think little old lady dynasty, style.
Fancy.
Yeah. So these type of things, I don't always buy them. They're kind of a dime a dozen at thrift stores because people that are mostly shopping at thrift stores are not going to buy them. But there are certain ones. Lawrence Kazar is a brand that people will recognize. Or should recognize. Sometimes when they're made really well, you can just tell, like anything else, like it's quality, and it felt really heavy and very well made, better than a lot of the cheaper looking versions of this type of thing. So it sold for, I've had it for a few months, but it sold for $72 plus shipping because it went to Canada. So
Canada, they're real fancy up there.
Apparently someone had somewhere fancy to go.
Yeah, seriously. Had some pizzazz, some sparkle.
And I think I paid, okay, so what I paid for, I paid somewhere like $7 or $8 or something like that. I would have never paid more than 10. So at max, it was $10 at a thrift store.
Yeah. All right. Fancy stuff. All right. Remember this one? This is a Goosebumps t-shirt that I picked up from yesterday's fits.
I like that one.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty worn and pretty small. Just a worn out t-shirt, but I know how popular Goosebumps is. I think you sold like a Goosebumps comforter before for $1 bazillion.
It was like $250. It was crazy. Yes.
Yeah. So this is a Goosebumps for a particular book that came out. Number 14, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
All
everybody.
Right, apparently that's a popular one.
Yeah, it has like a hole in it. I mean, it's a pretty tiny shirt. It's from the 90s. You see no tag, guys, no tag. So I had actually a lot of offers on this, but just always like pretty low. And then this last week, somebody offered me $80, and I was like, you know what? I will take $80 because I have it. It's $97.99 on sale. But when I do offers to buyers, usually I go down to like $85, $80 to $85 for this price point because I kind of have my stuff in different price points. And so $80 was right there at the price I wanted. So I was happy to sell this little worn out Goosebumps t-shirt for $80.
I think it's pretty funny. Alexis and Cheryl in the chat both mentioned the sparkly jacket that I sold. Somebody just wanted to feel pretty. And Alexis says, I'm going to the formal living room. I need to get fancy.
It's true. It's true.
I think that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, and I also see people who like worry that like if something doesn't have a tag, it somehow loses its value. And in my opinion, anyway, if it's a vintage t-shirt and you know it's a vintage t-shirt, I don't ever really care if the tag's there or not. I like having a tag there so I know what size it is, but otherwise it doesn't really matter to me. I don't think it loses its value if it's a valuable piece.
No, I mean, a lot of, well, you know, I sell a lot of vintage women's clothing. A lot of vintage women's clothing is not only has no tags, but is handmade.
Right.
So, and that has nothing to do with whether it's going to sell or not. So this is another item that I sold. I priced it pretty high. It was a kind of a rare Barbie doll, but as you can see, the box is not in great condition. The box is really yellowed. The plastic is yellowed. The doll itself is still attached to the plastic inside, and there's nothing wrong with it, but the plastic was all yellow, and I couldn't get it open without ruining
the integrity of the packaging.
No, without ruining even more so to get a better picture of the doll. So you can see like the pictures are not even great. But it sold for $80. I accepted an offer on this. It sold for $80. I had paid like $7 at a thrift store for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. Fountain Mermaid Barbie.
Fountain Mermaid Barbie.
Apparently, according to the photos, water comes out of her shell tiara.
Oh, that's very fancy.
She's fancy.
She's very fancy. All right, next up for me, I sold a lot of Looney Tunes stuff this week. Like I think I have like at least 3 things to show you guys that is actually Looney Tunes. But this is a Space Jam sweatshirt, vintage 90s Space Jam sweatshirt. And again, this one is, you can see how I have in my condition description, worn and faded, destroyed, paint, no size tag. I mean, okay, so this is what it looks like.
It's a bit excessive.
It's still a very cool shirt, but it's got some issues. Let's see. Yeah, see that sleeve? There's paint all over the sleeve. Paint all over the back. You can see all of the sleeve right there.
Who wants to wear stuff that's full of paint? It just looks sloppy.
Well, I guess you're not I
am not your target audience. I am not.
Yeah.
Sloppy.
And I actually think, like, you know, I kind of went over the top saying how bad it was. It's really not that bad. It just has like a lot of paint and stuff on it. But it's got the tag, but it didn't have the size tag was torn off there. But I had a price of $97.99, and it sold for $97.99. I've probably had this up for a few months. But I mean, this is a really cool sweatshirt. It's like kind of like an all over print, covers the whole, goes down the sleeves. There's got to be a word for that.
I don't understand. What's the mean guy in the background? Who's that
He
scary
is,
thing?
I actually have it in my thing. I'm in my research. He's Mr. Swackhammer.
All right, Mr. Swackhammer is evil looking.
He's the bad guy in the Space Jam movie, I believe. So
I can't say that I ever saw the Space Jam movie.
Yeah.
Shocking, I know.
Oh, I know. I mean, why would you not watch a movie about basketball with Michael Jordan in cartoons?
I don't know why.
I don't understand. Tommy says, I like that one. You didn't show that in a haul, did you? Yeah, I showed this in a haul. I mean, I got this like a number of maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, but I'm pretty sure I would have shown it in the haul when I got it. But I don't remember exactly. But anyway, just a cool sweatshirt, $100, even with all the issues, $100.
So this one right here, this one sold for the price that you see there. It's a vintage, very hipster, Portland shadow plaid jacket. I paid maybe $10 for it. This actually sold to the same buyer that bought the Ralph Lauren Aztec jacket that I showed last week. He bought it the day after, so it didn't fall into last week's sales, but it fell into this week's sales, and they were able to ship together. And he bought 2 jackets, and they shipped out to New York. And cool. I'm assuming that he's going to be quite the fashionable jacket wearer now.
Yeah, apparently.
I paid maybe $10 for it.
See, New York, which is, I'm assuming, super swampy right now, because New York in the summertime is so humid and so not weather.
No, yeah, anything on the East Coast, I can't even imagine. It makes me feel itchy and sweaty looking at it, thinking about wearing that in the humidity of New York right now.
For sure, but yeah, he bought 2 jackets this time of year to be sent to him in New York, so people are still shopping for this stuff. So I've definitely been putting off listing my jackets only because I have a bunch of other stuff to get to first. But I will be getting my jackets up and listed here the next week or two. So, all right, next one for me is this Playboy Club of Chicago T-shirt.
I remember that one.
I think I got this at yesterday's Fits. I probably paid like maybe $20 for it. It was a real tiny little shirt, but kind of 70s, 80s Playboy Club of Chicago, which is closed as of now. Or it's been closed for quite a while, but I think it was like the original club. But this is just a cool vintage little T-shirt, real tiny. I mean, it says it's a large, but it's like a slim vintage fit, as I say in my little description to make sure that they look at the measurements. But I had it priced at $140 on sale. I got an offer. I've had it probably for, I don't know, 6 months maybe now. I had an offer for $100, and I took that offer, so I sold it for $100. So not a bad price, but I picked up a couple of different Playboy things, and they always sell. Sometimes they take a little longer than others, but they always seem to sell the vintage
people like Playboy.
Yeah, and especially the vintage stuff. I don't know, maybe
boobs sell.
Yeah, aren't they like stopping it completely now?
The magazine?
Yeah, I mean, I know they stopped the nudie pics, but
they did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Well, I guess you don't keep up on your Space Jam and Playboy.
Apparently, I'm out of the loop.
Jeez. All right, next one for you. What you got? What you got here?
So this is one of those I stole a stock photo items.
You didn't take this picture?
No.
Shocking.
I'm not that good.
You take amazing pictures.
Clearly, it's exact, isn't it? I picked this up at Goodwill. It had a tag on it. I think I've had it for almost a year, maybe even more than a year. I paid somewhere around $10 for it. I just knew that it was a nice looking picnic set. I had purchased 2. One of them sold a long time ago, and this one just sold for the price that you see there, $100.76. It was under free shipping, but it fit perfectly in the 16 by 12 by 8 box.
Oh, nice.
And went to the middle of the country, so it was only like $14 to ship.
Yeah.
It was a really cool pattern. Anyway, I think it's a really nice looking picnic cooler.
Picnic cooler.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, so now I've got a twofer to share with you guys. A twofer. Got a couple of T-shirts here. Now this one, I have a lot of different kind of, I guess, themes that I really like to pick up that I think are cool. And one of them is rafting. I don't know why I like rafting T-shirts. Vintage, of course. So this one, I mean, I've had this one for a little while, but it's got kind of a cool, like, I don't even know what you would call this. I call it stonewash in this, kind of tie-dye stonewash. It's like a weird pattern on the shirt, like how it's dyed. But this was a Gallatin River rafting t-shirt from Montana. Just kind of an interesting shirt. And then the same buyer bought this t-shirt. This is another one of the Looney Tunes ones I sold. And this one I've only had up for a couple of weeks. I just got this recently.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is one I picked up because I'm like, it's Looney Tunes, it's rafting. I'm like, I don't know that it's going to be worth like a ton or it's going to sell for a ton, but still, it's Looney Tunes, it's vintage. And just kind of a cool t-shirt. So I had this listed. And again, it has like a little hole in it. So it's got some issues. But anyway, this person in Montana, surprise, surprise, picked up both of these t-shirts. And let's see, I think my sale had even ended. So it actually like sold full price. What? So let's go ahead and see the Gallatin. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Gallatin River one sold for $35.99. And then the Looney Tunes one sold for $47.99. So between the two of them, I made like about an $80 sale on these two t-shirts that neither one of them I thought were like home run t-shirts. And again, I just got this one, so it's really only been up for a couple of weeks. The other one I'd probably had the other one for like a year. Like I don't even know if I would pick up the other one now. Who knows? But yeah, both of those sold.
Lori says you are pronouncing Gallatin correctly.
All right. Woohoo!
Usually we're offending somebody by saying it wrong.
Always, always. All right, go ahead. It's you.
So this I've had for quite a while. As a matter of fact, I sold this once and it came back. It's just a vintage game that I paid $5 for. Somebody returned it. I don't know why they returned it, but anyway, it's been sitting. I probably had it in total for probably about a year.
I should have snagged it to play at my desk.
It's a pretty cool game, I thought. Complete in great condition. The box is in great shape. It's sold for, I took an offer for $75. So the first time I think I sold it for $60. Yeah. So I think the difference in sale price this time covered the loss that I had on the last one.
And then you did lots of cursing while you tried to put it in a box, and then I think you ended up setting it in a bag, didn't you? Mm-hmm. After you yelled at it a whole bunch.
Yep. Yeah. I could not make it. Was a long box. It's not heavy, but it was a really long box, and I did not have a box that would work. So I ended up wrapping it in bubble wrap and sticking it in a nice poly mailer.
Humongous poly mailer.
Yeah, I think somebody might have rented it to play.
True.
It's possible.
All right, next one for me is man, there's a lot of stuff going on with politics right now. I'll tell you what, we are in an election year. And I've got this awesome Ronald Reagan t-shirt out the door in '84. What's really funny is I actually have another t-shirt that's like something more in '84. So it's like I have both sides.
Both sides of the political aisle.
It was just a matter of seeing like who was going to buy first. Anyway, so this one out the door in '84, I think it's pretty funny. I love these old political shirts. I think they're cool.
I have one that's a Reagan era that's been sitting in my closet for like 2 years.
So anyway, so this is an '80s shirt. Just real quick, you can see that '80s Hanes tag right there. But I sold this, and it did fall under I think my most recent 10% off sale that just started up again. And we'll see how much I sold it for. It was 10% off, so I sold it for $89.99. Sold it for $89.99. And yeah, pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about it.
Oh, so Sue says, I had to go to Toys R Us at midnight to get one of those Hot Shot games in the 90s because it was the toy for Christmas. Funny that you say that because it's pretty rare. Like if that was the toy, you would think that there would be a lot of them on the bay. And for whatever reason, I was not ever able to find any comps for that. So I had priced it stupid high, and it took a while, but it sold.
All right. So yeah, I like me some political shirts. That's all I had to say. Next one for you.
This is one that I showed when we were in Arizona. I picked this up in Arizona, and I paid, I think it was priced at $25, but it was 50% off. So I paid $12.50 for this. And it sold within a couple of days of listing it. It's just a really nice Johnny Was linen. So of course it's, wrinkly looking because it's linen and whatever. I'm not steaming my stuff. I'm not Katy. So it sold for $129.95. It was listed for about 3 days. I haven't even shipped it yet. It sold Friday afternoon, I think.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Next for me, another Looney Tunes. This is one that Vikki was really jealous of.
Yeah, I really liked this one a lot. And you talked about this was on several websites priced pretty low. You thought other people had priced it really low.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. So I actually, when I picked this up, I got it from another reseller. It was when we very first went into lockdown, and we were like basically pleading and begging people to basically hold on a second here. We were begging people to sell us their crap because we wanted to be able to sell some stuff, and we had no way to go source, and we were like desperate. And so another reseller contacted me, and she was like, I'm kind of wanting to just get rid of like my men's stuff. So if you could check out what I have. Let's get this back on screen. So and so I just went to her store and looked at all her men's stuff, and this is one of the shirts that she had there. And so I bought it with a bunch of other stuff, but this particular item I paid $7 for. And if you look at comps for this, solds and unsolds, stuff that's currently listed, there's a lot of different, they aren't the exact same one, but a lot of different Looney Tunes Western shirts, and they're all kind of priced around the same, like $35 range around there. And this particular one, if you look at the solds, somebody just sold one like within the last month or two for like $13 plus shipping. Somebody else had it up at $40 and they took a best offer. So I don't know what exactly they sold it for, but it was less than that. So really looking at the comps, it doesn't really seem like it sells for much. But again, you guys know me, I price it what I want to price it at. And I'm like, I don't care. So I went ahead and priced this how I wanted to price it, and let's see what I sold it for. So it's been listed for what? Maybe 2 months, 2.5 months?
Not even.
Not even?
I would say a month.
Yeah. So let's see what I sold it for. Bam. It was not, there was not a sale going. It had just ended. So I think there were a couple of days on Etsy. I didn't have my 10% off sale going, and it sold for $99.99.
It's pretty cool.
I paid $7 for it. But again, looking at the comps, $7 was a decent price to pay for it. And if you just look at comps, you'd be like, I guess I'll price this at $35.99 or something like that. Don't always have to do that. Do what you want. That's what I say. Do what you want.
Nice. Our new super fan Xander thought our videos were too long.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's sad.
Sorry, Xander.
Anyway, next one for you. I think you've got one more. Go ahead.
This is it. So we always talk about the Wisconsin Badgers. Katy seems to do very well with Wisconsin Badgers.
She's trying to copy me now.
And so every once in a while, I will actually find a Wisconsin Badgers something or other. And I did pick this one up. I can't remember where I got it, to be honest with you. I think I might have gotten it in my box lot that I purchased from another reseller. So I'm not entirely sure because I don't remember finding this one. So I think it came in that lot of 250 items that I purchased. So that means that I have about $4 into it, and it's sold on Etsy. It's just a very basic one. It doesn't even have the cool badger on the front, It's just a very basic black one. Sold for $99.95.
That's ridiculous.
Free shipping. It kind of is.
I would say that's ridiculous. I wouldn't have even priced it that high. So I'm impressed. But Liz wants you to know that she's pretty sure that guy just wanted to know where you're from.
Probably so. Probably so.
Anyway, that's a pretty good sale. But guys, here's what I think is really more important about what's happening here on screen. Can we talk about your latest 5-star review you have? Because it's impressive. She got a 5-star review yesterday that they haven't got their sweater yet, but they're really looking forward to it. And so they are just impressed with Vikki's ability to currently track an item.
Yep, it's one of those that I think is lost in the ether. Yeah, it's been traveling priority.
But you got a 5-star
for 3 weeks. It's been well, she messaged me yesterday, like kind of this is actually a customer service thing too. So she messaged me yesterday. She was pretty irate. Missing package, hasn't shown up in 3 weeks, and she was kind of shitty in her message. And I just responded, and I was like, well, you know, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know your package did not arrive. So how about you give me a chance to look and see where it may be and address your concern without going at me with double barreled. And that was pretty much what I said in the message. Like, if you're shitty with me from jump, I'm shitty right back. I'm sorry. That's just the way it works. You know, if you're nice to me, I'm going to give you the complete customer service, but I don't believe in kissing customers' asses just because they're the customer. I'm sorry. I don't. If you're a jerk, you're going to get it back in kind.
Are you like,
I'm a New Englander, all right?
No, are you like, what's her name in Chicago? Queen Latifah, is that what you are? Do you sing that song while you write to your customers?
Yes, yes. So anyway, so I thought it was pretty funny that she ended up, because she came right back and apologized and said, you know, I'm really sorry. And I said, that's okay. And then we dropped it. I accepted her apology. And, you know, I tried to track down the item, and it is kind of missing right now. You know, we all know USPS is having issues.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, it's 3 weeks late. I told her to give me another week. I'm going to try to put some tracking on it. And if it doesn't arrive, then I'll give her a full refund. That's, you know, customer service. Yeah. But she came at me from jump being aggressive. So there was no reason.
And then she gave you 5 stars. But like Laura Franzica, when she was on her show, she had an item that took like a month to get like within the state. So it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine mail me a package. It took 12 days. She paid $52 to send this package to me. It was 12 pounds, and it took 12 days to get across the country priority.
Yeah.
So 12 days priority is a little bit,
for sure. Know. Well, my latest feedback, Janet gave me 4 out of 5 stars. With this glowing review, and so I'm always a little confused. Like, what more could I done for you, Janet? what more could I done? But anyway, all right. So this is a Chicago Cubs satin bomber jacket. I actually haven't had this one listed for very long. I know I bought this from yesterday's fits from Jesse during the lockdown when I was able to go there and buy a bunch of stuff. I believe I paid like $40 for this, maybe 50 tops, but I don't think so. Probably, let's just say I paid $50 for it. But it's a Cubs satin bomber jacket, really nice condition. If you look at comps, I mean, the prices are kind of all over the place, but there's plenty of them that are selling for too low, but there's also other ones that are priced at like $300. So again, it's just a matter of like price it what you want to get for it and see what happens. But it really hasn't been listed for very long, maybe a month. And let's see what I sold it for. The 10% off sale was going, so I sold it for $251.99. So $252 is how much I sold this Cubs satin bomber jacket. Again, I paid like $50 for it. Really didn't take long for it to sell. What was that?
I was excited. $251. Woohoo!
So you guys see how like I was like startled by her excitement, because I was like, did something just happen on your? She was looking at her phone while she did that, so I was pretty sure that like she just got a sale, because heaven forbid she'd be excited about something. I'm sure. Woo! It startled me. I was like, what?
Shut your mouth.
Anyway, about $250 for that. So that's it for our sales highlights for the week. Looks like we got close to 200 people watching now. But only 1 thumb down, guys. Come on. I feel like more of you could be disgruntled and angry at us right now. So please, let's get some more thumbs down there, and more thumbs up if you so choose. But
I feel like our
really
super fans are not watching at the moment.
I want you to really air your grievances, okay? So, but we appreciate you and your disgruntled dudes.
So disgruntled dudes.
Yeah, pretty much. Whoops. Anyway. So let's go ahead.
You're done playing, so I can see?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
You gonna cry about it?
She plays around with screens and opens. This is what you don't see. This is why you see my head doing this, because she's closing the screen so that I can't tell where I'm supposed to be looking. It drives me crazy.
I'm doing my job, okay? And right now, this is my job.
I'm just trying to read
In a half hour, 45 minutes from now, my job will be cleaning your pool. Right now, let me do my job here.
You guys, I don't know if we're going to make it through Corona. That's all I got to say.
I should move this over here. Move it over here. Move it over here.
I'm going to punch you right in the mouth.
All right, let's talk about this amazing haul you got this week.
Yeah, I don't have much. I don't have much, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint. But I will show you the few things that I was able to pick up. And I've got a couple of things that I purchased over the last couple of weeks that I haven't shown. So I'm just like trying to highlight maybe a couple of brands that you're not familiar with. So I did pick these up yesterday. Went to one of the local thrift stores and stopped in because our garage sailing was so dismal. We stopped in, found some dead stock shoes. These are made in Italy, which is usually a good sign. So you can see the only thing on the bottom is just the sticker. So I paid $6.97 for them. But they are some sweet 80s.
Those are nice.
Sequined slingback shoes. Like, come on now.
I feel like you should contact whoever it was that bought that.
I feel like they need the matching shoes, right?
I think they match pretty well.
That's pretty impressive.
It looks like Derek was kind enough to help us with some thumbs down. He just said, "There you go."
Oh,
so
thanks, you jerk.
Thanks, jerk. Appreciate it. But yeah, I think those would go awesome with yeah. But we went to Castaway, because we wanted to go to Savers because we were so sick of all the garage sales not paying off. We went to go to Savers and it wasn't open until 11. I don't really understand the whole like I get the shutdown. I don't really understand the different hours. Like I'm like either you're open or you're not, whatever. But they weren't going to be open until like 11, so we ended up going to Castaways. And I don't know how many did you just get those shoes there?
I got the shoes and I got I think that's it. I got these shoes and I got one other crappy little thing that I'm not even showing, so it's not worth it. So
not even worth it. We went to one garage sale and the lady, like there was nobody out there, and then the lady opens the door and she's like, "Everything's free. Just take what you want. Everything's free." And I think you grabbed like one thing.
Well, she only had crap. I didn't want her free crap.
You got some shoes. They were okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to like talk about a couple of brands. So when we did go to in Arizona, we picked up a bunch of things, and one of the stores that we went to, I had picked up like I think I said like 70 items for $170 or something like that. There was a lot of stuff, but this was just a brand that's kind of an anthropology brand. Again, a lot of these anthropology brands you start to learn because the tags just look different. I don't know how else to describe it other than certain brands you're like, oh, I can tell by that tag. That's probably an anthro brand. And this is one of them. This is one, it's called Hem and Thread. I don't know if we can see that tag there. And this is something I paid $1 for. It's one of those really cute, it's a button-up blouse with a peplum hem. And it's like this crinkly fabric. And it has, some cuff sleeves. It almost looks like it's a little jacket. I think somebody would maybe wear it over a little tank top or a t-shirt. It's really cute. But this, I paid $1 for it. This particular thing I'll probably sell for about $50. It's just one of those brands I wanted to draw some attention to. It has, this is a really pretty top. I would wear this if I were a size 2. It's cute.
Very cute. Very cute.
So those shoes, by the way, that I paid $7 for it. I don't think I said what I would sell them for. These are probably like $70. I'll probably sell these for like $69.95 would be my price on those.
They're new, but they're not new with tags. Are they? Because
they're not. That's just the store tag, but they're new. Like you can see on the bottom that they've never been worn, and it's still shiny on the bottom.
Somebody bought them, thought they were amazing, and then
Can I spell that word? The bottom of the shirt, peplum. So P-E-P-L-U-M. That's when something is fitted and then flares out at the bottom. It's on a dress or a shirt or whatever.
It's fancy. It's very fancy. It's a fancy
word. Just like a keyword for a style. I also picked this up last week, and I said that I was never going to buy another Hawaiian shirt or Western shirt because I bought so many in that big lot that I am sick to death of looking at them. But this one kind of stood out to me on the rack for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's Rain Spooner, and it's a vintage Rain Spooner. This is an 80s into 90s tag, made in the USA. But what I liked about it is that it has good subject matter. First, it's a big size, but second, it has the woodies all over it. These the cars with the panels, and there are a lot of people that like have car clubs and collect these type of, it's a thing. Mm-hmm. So I bought them more for the subject matter. And it's also a reverse print, which means that it's a little bit like faded and brushed looking on the outside, but then the inside has the really bright print. That's called a reverse print.
I think the real takeaway from this though, guys, is that Vikki's a liar.
Why am I a liar?
when she said that she wasn't gonna, she was sick of Hawaiian shirts and she was done with them. She lied.
I lied.
She's a liar.
Apparently I lied.
Yeah.
So Jamie asked, Vegas is opening back up soon. Yes, Vegas is open. The casino's opened Thursday night at midnight. Not all of them, but most of them. They're open at, I think the hotels are opened at like 25 or 40% capacity, something like that. Not that they're anywhere near that. There are still no shows. There are no concerts. There's no shows happening at all, but the casinos are open. Table games, some of the dealers have plastic in front of them and some of them don't. They're keeping the spaces. You can't have 6 to 8 people at a table anymore. I think it's 4 people max. There have to be spaces between. The rows of slot machines, you can have 1 on each end. They're taking out 1 or 2 in the middle. Yeah. It's different.
We went to our local casino the day it wasn't quite open yet. It was opening that night at midnight. But we went for dinner, and so they had it kind of all corralled off to be able to get to where we were eating. And they did the machine where you stood like 6 feet away and like somehow it like read your temperature. It was kind of weird. But we're actually going for a staycation for Vicki's birthday, just one night.
Going to one of the local ones.
It seriously is like 5 minutes from here.
Yeah, so they're open. Everything is open. Are they cleaning as much? I think they have more people. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been in any of the casinos that have been open since Friday, so I can't speak to that. I know the point is that they're trying to have the ability for social distancing. Masks are not required, but they are recommended. All of the employees have to wear masks, and you have to not have a temperature to come into the building. That being said, if you're asymptomatic, that kind of it's a crapshoot. So, I mean, if you're somebody that's asymptomatic, it doesn't matter. You're not going to show that you have a temperature. So what the hell's that good?
Well, somebody said it like,
and people are smoking. Yeah. So it's a casino. So they're still smoking everywhere. So every time you're smoking, even if what are you pulling your mask down to smoke and blow your shit all over everybody?
Well, some places they're not letting people smoke. In some places, I know Britain was at MGM Grand. They were giving out masks to everybody, and they were giving out gloves to everybody. And they have the plexiglass at the table games. The sports book area was completely no smoking. And he said that like the majority of people were wearing masks. So I think it just is, some of it's going to be depend casino to casino. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. So I do think, so Derek says we're going for the comped Corona. Well, it's not comped, but we did get a very good room at a very good price at our local casino, which is really nice. So it is my birthday next week. So that's what we're doing, a little staycation night. What's nice about it is that it's not on the strip, so it's not a tourist destination. It's generally a locals casino that is used for conferences and big parties and weddings, and none of those things are allowed right now. So really, there's going to be next to nobody there. And the casinos, let's face it, the casinos and the hotels are never going to be as clean as they are right now. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's the same one that we
were just at, and it was, you could tell it was like cleaner than it's ever been.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the, about it. We're going to have a nice night and get a nice dinner and hang out at the pool and have a spa day with my friend for my birthday.
Your birthday.
So the other thing I'm going to talk about, I'll get back to something I picked up last when we were in Arizona. I paid $1. Again, it was a place that had all long sleeves were $1. This is new with tags. This is Bobby Jones. It's a golf collection. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because whether it's for men or women, the Bobby Jones is a very high-end golf wear line. So this particular thing, it's Clover by Bobby Jones. This is a women's sweater. It doesn't look like a golf sweater. It's just a sweater from a golf brand line. And the retail price on this is, I think it said it was like, I looked online, it was like 160 or something like that. Ridiculous. So I still think I'm going to get about $50 to $60 for this sweater, even off season. It's a pretty color. It's that pretty coral salmon color that I really like. So it's just a brand for you to look for. Bobby Jones, men's and women's. It sells very well.
You just have your other things left?
Yeah, I have one more thing that I'm going to show. Okay.
And then I'll show some stuff.
Yep. And so this was something I picked up in Arizona as well. I paid $5 for this. And the only thing I wanted to talk about this is, so it's this very vintage, modest looking dress. You can see the plaid at the bottom, and then the top here. This is actually an Austrian dress. It's called a dirndl. It's a type of Austrian type of dress. And I knew when I saw Salzburg that it was going to be that type of thing, and also the European sizing on it. So I paid about $5 for this. This is like a $150 dress.
Crazy.
It's traditional Austrian wear. It has a pocket in the side, you know, it has pockets.
It has pockets. What?
I know, it has pockets. Listen, women love pockets. We never have pockets on our clothes. Yeah. Such a key word, pockets.
Pockets. I like pockets.
It is like the sound of music. Yeah, Pacific 49.
That's why I like to wear men's jeans, because women's jeans usually have like those short pockets. You try to put your hands in your pockets, and, and then your giant phone sticking out the back pocket. So anyway, all right. So you have like one stack of stuff that you're gonna save for the end, which is like your super awesome score for the week.
Yeah.
And so let me show some of the stuff I got. So we went out yesterday, and I literally the entire day got 2 items, and both of them I got at Castaways, and one of them is for me. So let's just say I had a real good day.
I think that might be sarcastic.
Anyway, so Vicki's like, "You got that for yourself?" That's what she said. You got that for yourself? Anyway, it's just a button-down shirt that I thought was funny. It's just a nice button-down shirt for the summer, but it's got rollerblades and boogie boards on it, guys, and palm trees. Like, hello. Shut your mouth.
Fantastic.
Shut your mouth.
It's fantastic.
I think it's awesome. I did used to blade back in the day, rollerbladed back in the day. Have you ever seen the movie Airborne? And that was pretty much me.
No, that would be me.
Riding.
I've never seen the movie, but Airborne makes me think of what would be if I tried to rollerblade. My ass would be airborne. So yes, I get it.
Anyway, I was not that good of a rollerblader as from the movie Airborne, but I like to pretend.
I would have a cracked, hips, maybe a broken elbow, probably fall face first and lose my nice 2 front teeth.
Yeah. Anyway, I just think it's a ridiculous shirt, and I love it. So it might be a little small for me, so that's going to be a problem. But one thing at a time, guys. One thing at a time.
Roller skating at roller rinks is back. We do have a roller rink here. We've been a couple of times with some friends. It's been fun, and I've been every summer for the past couple of years. I've gone roller skating with our camp kids too. So. Yeah, I've been skating like 3 times in the past 3 years, which I don't think I had skated for 20 years. Yeah, before that.
Jagafufu just noticed my t-shirt. Yeah, I actually thrifted this t-shirt, which is crazy. It's not a vintage t-shirt, but it's the band Refused, which I'm actually a really big fan of, and I love their music. So when I thrifted it, I was like, hells yeah, it's probably one of the shirts that I wear at least once a week.
At least.
So Vikki hates it, but I like to see a fellow Refused fan out there.
So for someone that has 5,000 t-shirts, you know how you wash laundry and it goes in a pile and then they just pull from the pile? That's Katy. So,
I have my favorites.
So she'll wear the same things over and over again, clean, mind you, but they're like, you need to like put them in the drawer so you can rotate out your older ones from the back of the drawer.
I have my favorites, and there's some shirts that feel nicer. Like the nice thing about this one is it's really it's one of those thinner material with more stretch to it, and it just feels nice. And I'm a little chubby right now, so there are a lot of my shirts that, that stiffer t-shirt material that just doesn't have any give, and they just feel a little suffocating. Like I could still wear them, but they're a little suffocating.
But you're suffocated. Yeah,
a little suffocated. I have to do the thing. You do the thing where you take your clean t-shirt and you put the hem on the ground, you put your toes on it, you pull up and stretch it as hard as you can to get it. So yeah, well, you don't know. You don't know. But you don't like wearing, like I like wearing more fitted, so.
I don't like tight clothing.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, and then my one big score yesterday for resale, I don't even know if there's any market for this at all. Because,
I don't think so.
But it's just like an 80s. This is an 80s. It might be dead stock. This is an 80s sweater, casino sweater. And like, what made them think that this should be put on a nicely made sweater is beyond me. This is Sam's Town Paycheck Sweepstakes sweater. So I don't know if like you win. Like I don't know who was wearing this. Or
well, it's they give away jackets and T-shirts all day long. Still, I'm sure this was just another one of those giveaways.
Okay, but a T-shirt is just a print. A jacket is usually like just an embroidery on like a blank jacket. This
Well,
is
that
like,
was for the really big high roller, apparently.
to me, like a sweater like this, it had to be knit with this. I mean, obviously they use machines for it, I'm sure, but it had to be like, it just seems like a little bit more cost to produce this, but whatever. But I bought it because it was $5.
It's hideous.
There was nothing else. And if nothing else, I'll wear it for our Christmas card this year.
No, that's not funny. Not funny.
It's a nice sweater. It's a nice little sweater.
Jacob Fufu, Samstown, you're practically raised there, huh? Ugh. It is obnoxious. It is so obnoxious someone will love it. I don't know about that, but it is obnoxious for sure.
Well, I have other casino sweaters that are cooler because they have like different casino things on them. But that was just like paycheck sweepstakes. It's kind of pretty corny and chintzy. But anyway, and then let's go along to the sweater route. Here's another sweater. This one I picked up from Greg, the valet picker. This is dead stock, new with tags, 80s, like 100% acrylic.
Oh, it feels nice. Ugh.
Feels real nice. But this is a Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins. Let's go watch them. Let's go watch them fight out on the ice. Do I sound like I'm from Boston?
No, not at all.
Could I be one of the Wahlbergs?
Listen, let's go watch the Boston Bruins. Let's have a couple of beers.
Have a couple of beers, pack the can, have it yard. Something like that.
Oh, Michelle said that looks like a Spartan cheerleading sweater. the Samstown one. It kind of does.
Yeah, it kind of does. But anyway, this is just a really cool 80s dead stock. I haven't even listed this yet, so this is going up this week. But dead stock hockey sweater. Really, really cool. The brand is like Sturbridge by Roosevelt. I don't know. Anyway, but I think I paid like, he didn't charge me too much, so maybe like $30. I don't remember exactly. I think it was 30.
It's wicked cool.
But I'm gonna try to get like 200 for it, guys. For the Boston.
It's wicked awesome.
It's wicked awesome, yo.
No, yo. Just wicked awesome.
Hey, not everybody from Boston's cool. Some of them say yo.
She's embarrassing.
I love it. And then let me show a couple more things, and then we'll go to your stuff, and then I can show the rest of mine. And then I was buying a bunch of stuff from Derek like a few weeks ago, and I think I'd shown like a t-shirt in a haul that I had, like a skiing t-shirt, and he was like, hey, I have that same thing, only it's snowboarding on a sweatshirt. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. And he was like,
was this Derek? You said?
Yeah. And so I bought it from him. But anyway, this one is West Yellowstone, Montana. Super sweet, kind of almost like I don't know if you would consider. I call this kind of an all-over print
or ski-doo.
It's not a ski-doo.
It's on a ski-mobile.
Yeah. Yes. Isn't ski-doo? Isn't ski-doo like in the water though?
I think that's a sea-doo.
It's a ski-doo.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I like the rationale that ski-doo is on snow.
Yes.
Okay. And when you're on the water, that's a sea-doo. Okay, it's a ski-doo and a sea-doo.
It seems likely.
There's winter sports, there's water sports. Okay, there's difference.
You don't know.
Anyway, we got a snowmobile here, and it's amazing. And it's
see, somebody said I was right.
It's double printed. Okay, or double-sided anyway. But I think this is really cool. So I love it. Got it from Derek. Thanks, Derek. Now you know I want all the ski stuff.
See, sea-doo and ski-doo. I was right.
All right. Are you just saying that because somebody typed it out for you?
No, but that was
we don't know if that's true. Melting Madeline might be a liar, just like Vikki. I won't know till after the show when I can go Google it myself. Okay, Melting Madeline.
You don't know.
Melting Madeline, probably full of lies. Kimberly, it's true. You don't know. Hashtag. You don't know.
You're ridiculous.
All right, one more. Then we'll go back to you. This is actually from the big buy from Jesse's mom, Jesse from Yesterday's Fits. His mom had a bunch of stuff because she's an OG eBay seller. We went and bought a bunch of stuff, and mostly I bought jackets, but I bought some sweatshirts too. And so I picked up this awesome Cleveland Browns 80s sweatshirt. I actually have like a couple of these that are Raiders, but this is Cleveland Browns. You can see this Garin, I don't know. 80s tag. But it's just like a cool Cleveland Browns.
See, Cheryl, we do have Google. We're just not Googling while we're on the show. We'll Google after.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheryl, your attitude Your attitude? A little condescending, not appreciated. All right? Okay? If only you had
Cheryl over here.
you had Google.
Over here bragging about losing weight during the quarantine. Shut your mouth, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. All right? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to save the rest of mine till after you show your crazy awesome sale. First, how did it happen? What happened?
So a friend of mine back east happened to make a comment on Facebook that she had a bunch of men's jeans that were in her house. I think that her son had left behind, and she was like, does anybody need them? Anybody want them? And she put a couple of pictures up, and they're mostly new with tags jeans, and I think she was just giving them away. And then I contacted her and I was like, I'll buy them from you. I want to send you some money, and I'll also send you money for shipping. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how many are there? And she told me, and then I was like, well, how does X number of dollars sound? She's like, okay. I was just going to give them away. Well, come to find out, these are better than I thought they were, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure. I thought they were just dead stock Levi's and just older Levi's. But what they are...
Wait, so how much did you pay total?
So I paid $130 for 8 pairs of jeans delivered.
And that includes the shipping?
Yes.
Okay.
So what they are is I have 3 pairs of, actually 4 pair of Levi's that are, these are the vintage, they're Big E Levi's. Now, hold on.
Don't go crazy.
Yeah, don't go crazy. They're the Big E replicas. So these are replicas of the true vintage jeans.
I'm trying to show the actual Big E.
Okay, there you go. So these are vintage of the jeans, and what they are is they show you what brand it was. So this was a style replica from 1947, the 501 jeans. They're vintage clothing. It tells you all about how it's unwashed denim. They're made a certain way. They're all made in the USA, which jeans are not anymore. So these are, I have 3 pairs of these, different years and different styles. But what's really cool about them too is that they are the ones that have the selvage inside. And if you don't know what selvage is, it's about the hem, and it's got the red line selvage. So these are made to recreate exactly what they looked like in the year that they were made. So yeah, so Jacob, yes, they are selvage too. So these are particularly popular in Japan. So they sell really, really well overseas, and these are not huge sizes. They're all 32, but they're long. They're 32 by 36, 31 by 36. So they're a very specific length for a tall, thin-ish person. These are going to sell for about $200 to $250 a pair. If you look up the Levi's Big E selvage and know that they're new ones, not the ones from the 40s, 50s, 60s, not the real Big E when they were first made. They sell for about $200 to $250 a pair. So these are dead stock. They're all different styles. They originally sold for $250. You can look at the retail price on this one was $250. And they're going to sell for at least that still. So these were from 1955, the 501s, this particular style that I have right here. Tags are still on them. I don't know that she knew what she had. I didn't know what she had, to be fair. I saw a quick picture and I thought I was just buying like 90s dead stock. You know, I would sell them for $50 a pair or something like that.
Real quick, Aaron wants to know, are there key things that differentiate these repops from the originals? But for one thing, the actual tags inside.
Right. For what? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, these all have the new tag, have the tags on them, so it's obvious that they're redos.
Right.
But if you only happen to find a pair of the jeans out in the wild, this is how you can tell. So inside, take that down. Thank you. Inside, they're going to have the cotton tags. So that's where you're going to see the big difference. These things did not exist back then. You didn't have tags on the inside.
Yeah. So
that's like your biggest key. There are other tips, but that's going to be the easiest one for you to tell that they're not, you know, that they're reprints and not originals. So I did get four pairs of those. And then I did get a pair of vintage. These are vintage 80s 501s. Nothing super special about these, but they'll still probably sell for about $50 to $60.
So that right there is like $800 to $1,000 worth of jeans.
Right. And then I have 3 more. But wait, that's
there's
not
more.
all. Wait, there's more. It's like 2020. Oh,
I was going to say,
there's more.
Only much nicer.
Only much nicer. So this is the good buy for the week. So these are also 3 pairs of dead stock. This is another brand that I had never heard of. This is a brand called Left Field. Left Field is another pair of jeans that are like the 50, like the Levi's with the selvage. These are also selvage type of jeans that were real popular. They were more popular a couple of years ago than they are right now. But right now, these are still selling for about $150 a pair. So it's a brand that I had never heard of. But again, they're popular. So I do sell all over the world. So I have a feeling this will probably sell overseas. But there are 3 pair of these, different sizes and different colors. Like these are black. And these will sell for $100 to $150 a pair.
So you turned like $130 most likely into $1,000 to $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
Or you probably will.
So, you know, depending on if they sell quickly or when they sell, I'm going to be sending my friend a little bit of a kickback, and I'll probably send her a gift or something. She didn't know what she had. I didn't know what she had. But she was just going to give them away. And thankfully they came to me and not someone else that didn't know what they were getting.
Yeah. Very cool.
So that's my find for the week, and I'm super happy to have them.
Yeah. So I just have a few items left. I had bought, I think last week when we did our haul, I had bought like a whole bunch of stuff from this eBay seller. Not anybody that I know, just somebody who has like 4,000 listings, and their pricing is actually really cheap for vintage. A lot of dead stock stuff. And I mostly bought t-shirts, but I bought a few sweatshirts as well. And they have a deal where it's like the more you buy, you get like better discounts and stuff. And so I think I probably paid like maybe $20 a piece for these sweatshirts. But the first one is a hockey sweatshirt, Chicago Blackhawks, Kick Ice. And it's just a really cool 90s Nutmeg Mills sweatshirt. And again, I paid like $20 for this, but I'll sell it for like $60, $70 easily. You know how I like my hockey stuff too. And,
you like all the stuff.
I like all the stuff.
Add to the list.
I like all the stuff. Okay,
all the things.
There's probably a list of 30 themes. Let's go with 30, maybe 20. Maybe 20 themes. I should start writing them down and see how long it really is. There's certain things like I've been really
into a lot
hockey stuff. Don't need your attitude. Why don't you go hang out with Cheryl? Anyway,
Cheryl, I'm moving to Florida.
I think I'll probably list this for $70 to $100 and hope I get 60 at least. But I paid 20 for it. Just a cool hockey sweatshirt. And then I got these. I thought were awesome, and I paid $20 a piece for them. And again, dead stock. These are 90s. This is the Toltex tag, 90s Toltex tag. These are from like 93, 94. And these are kind of like biker sweatshirts. And this one has Woody Woodpecker on it. And Woody Woodpecker's like, there's certain characters that kind of have followings and people that like to buy their stuff. And I think Woody Woodpecker's one of those.
Well, he also is not heavily depicted on merch. So
right, you've got Bugs Bunny and like the ones that like are on everything, and Taz, which is on everything. And so some of these characters Mickey, you just don't
not
see.
Looney Tunes, but Mickey.
But yeah, just in general. But Woody Woodpecker, I just think this is a really cool kind of like biker sweatshirt. So again, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of research. I mean, they had them priced at like $25, but I paid about 20, and I think easily at least like $70 I think I can get for it. But that's just what I say. So
that's just what I say. I like this one.
Now this one, this is my favorite one of them. So similar, it was made obviously like a series of these sweatshirts were made at the same time. But this one is Heckle and Jekyll. So this is Heckle and Jekyll. And again, you just don't see as much Heckle and Jekyll.
You see nothing Heckle and Jekyll. I don't think I've ever seen an article of clothing with Heckle and Jekyll on it.
Yeah. But I think this one's really cool. So again, I'll probably try to get like $100 for it.
And that's a bigger size, which is good for a biker
like
guy. At least a large, extra large. Yeah.
I think the other one was large. But yeah, I think it's a cool sweatshirt, and the reason I got it is because of the Heckle and Jekyll. So I'm gonna try to get $100 for it. We'll see.
I think you'll get $100 for it.
And I don't care.
That's a cool one.
I don't care. I'm gonna do it.
I don't care.
I don't care. And then I got
you don't know.
You'll know. And then I ordered, I think I ordered like 3 different t-shirts from a guy on Etsy. And 2 of them, one of them was one that like I've bought and sold multiple times before, so I won't show it because it doesn't really matter. But the other ones I thought were super cool. The first one is this Oliver Prince shark t-shirt. Any of these like whales or shark, I always do really well with them, even when they're like super worn and faded. But this one's actually in really
where my
nice
wrench
condition.
is at.
This one's in a really nice condition. So who are you yelling about? Oh, that's pretty entertaining. They must have already gotten rid of them. Anyway, this one I think I paid like $15 for or so. Maybe 20 at the most, but I'll be able to get like 60 out of this. That's what I'm gonna do. It. You watch. I'll do it. Every time I get shark stuff, put it up, sells right away. So love it. And then this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome right here. Just gonna go ahead and show this one off. Oliver Prince. What do you guys think? Especially this time in this day and age. Here.
Go ahead. You pay attention.
They're not even typing anything real. Like somebody can get it. Anyway, you can't touch this, guys. You can't touch this. We got a little MC Hammer going on right here. Oliver print. We are living in a time when you really can't touch this. So hands off, back off. Give me my 6 feet. You in my space. Get out of here.
Get out of my space.
You can't touch this. This one actually had some staining on it, and which I didn't really see in the pictures because of the pattern on it. But I was able to bleach it like crazy, and that worked. I actually did try the trick first of using the denture tablets for a few hours, and I don't know if it made a difference, but I tried it and I put it in the wash and did the bleach and detergent, and it worked really well, and it came out looking brand spanking new. But this thing is awesome. I love it. You can't touch this. I actually paid up for this. I think I paid like $30 for this. You getting into it?
Can't touch this. Yes.
I paid like $30 for this, but I'm gonna sell it for at least 100. I'll probably put it up for 150 and hope to get like at least
the wrenches are taking a break. It's a long show.
I know.
It is. We're always a long show. Sorry, dudes.
Sorry, dudes. Anyway, this was actually a pretty short one because that's all I got.
That's it. That's all we got.
It hasn't been an hour and a half. Are you ready to go get in the pool or what?
I'm ready to go clean the pool.
Clean your disgusting pool.
It is dirty now.
It's filthy.
There's been a lot of wind, and there's a lot of grit in the pool right now. It needs to be completely emptied, hosed down, scrubbed down, and then refilled with some nice clean water.
You should stop peeing in it.
Ew.
You're disgusting.
I only pee in public pools. Kidding. I'm kidding.
I do, and then I swim away real fast.
Ew.
I know, really. Or do I?
Ew.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. That's pretty much our lame ass haul.
Yeah, come on, turn your thumbs down to thumbs up before you leave. Come on, Derek.
Yeah, come on, Derek. And hurry up and wash all that stuff that you bought this week, because I'm gonna buy it from you, Derek. Next week I'm gonna have an awesome haul because I have first of all, I'm gonna do some of these jackets. Secondly, tomorrow the good old UPS is dropping a box off from Derek. That's full of some really awesome stuff that I bought from him last week, and I'm really excited about some really cool stuff. So there might be something in there for Vikki if she's willing to pay up for it. We'll see. I don't know. He did say he threw in some extra stuff too. But anyway, so I'm gonna have that. Vikki's gonna go. You're gonna have to go out a couple times this week, I think.
I am. I have to go sourcing a few times. Yep.
You're gonna have
maybe Corey will want to go with me. Corey and I haven't hung out since pre-COVID. Maybe Corey will want to go on some day trips and go sourcing, or Dana. Maybe one of my friends.
Maybe so.
I have friends. You don't know.
You don't know. I do know. We're gonna wrap it up, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And I guess I got to go clean up.
Cheryl, you're real early. My birthday's not until the 15th. You had a week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little while. I got to go clean up this one's filthy pee-pee pool.
Ew.
Bye.
Bye.